There are a lot of pros to hempcrete. So it's really insulative. It has an R value of 2.5 to 3 per inch of thickness, which is really high. Hemp is better than, or really high for a natural material anyway, not really high for fiberglass or foam. Hemp is like more insulative than straw because it just has more air trapped in it in like a more rigid form that can't be compacted as much. So that's why it's a much higher R value than slip straw. It's better than wood chips. So like wood chips have that structure, but they don't have as much trapped air. So the hemp stalks work way better. It is a highly renewable material, and in some cases it can be a local material, but that really depends on legality as well as processing facilities. We don't have a lot of processing facilities for industrial hemp in this country. It's compatible with more industrial materials and building techniques, just like slip straw. Like you can use it with a more conventionally framed out house or as an infill in a timber frame. It is mold resistant because of the lime in the mixture. It's like super mold resistant. And the R value is very consistent as opposed to slip straw, which is really nice to have something that is predictable. And that makes it more likely that it could be permitted. Now, it's a new material and a new building technique, so it's still a little bit hard to permit, but I think it's going to be a lot easier to permit than something that doesn't have as easy to predict of like R value, like doing slip straw or something like that. The cons, I would say that right now, like you're unlikely to get local hemp for hempcrete because it's hard to grow it and process it locally in an area where you live unless you happen to live close to one of those processing facilities. It's not structural, so you can't just build a hempcrete wall or stack the crete blocks and then put a roof over it. You need some sort of other structure to hold up the roof. It is relatively expensive right now, especially compared to some of these other natural building techniques, but it's a lot less work than a lot of the other natural building techniques. And you need to wear gloves when working with it because you're working with lime. So to recap the pros and cons, hempcrete is very insulative. It is more insulative than straw because of its structure. It's more insulative than wood chips because of the fact that there's more trapped air. It's a highly renewable material. It's compatible with more conventional and industrial building materials and building techniques. It's mold resistant and it has a high R value. And that R value is consistent and guaranteed, and it can be and is likely to be able to be in the future permitted in many areas. As far as the cons are, it uses industrial processes. You're likely not going to be able to grow hemp on your land and then build a building with it. It's not structural. It's relatively expensive. And the processing facilities are really pretty uncommon in this country, and you need to wear gloves when you're working with them.